Have you ever dreamt of starting your own business or wanted to know what your business would look like before even spending a penny? I know I have. I've dreamt of owning a coffee shop for many years now, and I've partnered today with Adobe Firefly to show you how you can build a brand from scratch using their new AI assistant. Let's dive in and take a look. Now, the new AI assistant is in beta mode. You get to it from the Adobe Firefly homepage and clicking on the AI assistant. On that, it's going to take us to this page here. And on this page here, we've got some new features. One of those is create a brand kit. Now on here, what we're going to do is once we click on that, it's going to open up a chat window and allow us to actually chat in real time to build our brand. Now, I've already gone ahead and built a logo, and I've already gone through this process, so you don't actually have to sit and watch me actually wait for these things to actually load. But what we've got is we've come in here and it's asked us these questions. So you've got a few options straight away as to how you can actually start this chat. And we're just using natural conversation here when we start this. I uploaded this, which is a logo for a fictional brand that I've created, which is Adobe Artisan Coffee, which for those of you who haven't noticed, is Adobe and Artisan Coffee, which I absolutely love the idea of this and the concept of this. I went for a kind of like 70s, kind of like retro vibe to this. So I just uploaded that to the chat here, and we're going to do that just down here. We can click on the plus button. We can upload that from our computer or our laptops, or we can choose from the Adobe Cloud Storage. Now, if you do choose to do this from the Adobe Cloud Storage, we've got this new search facility up here, which will search across all of your files, all of your projects, your generation history. Frame.io, you can pull in images from Lightroom. If you've got those there, you've got the search options up here, and then you can search and change these to be just images, videos, or audio, whichever ones you want. You just add them in there. So wherever you've created them within the Creative Cloud ecosystem, or be that on your hard drive, you can just upload the item here. Now, once we've uploaded the item, it's going to go away and actually look at that for us, look at that logo. You can see it here straight away. It's removed the background for us. It started creating a vectorized image. Now, this isn't about replacing artists or graphic designers, because we can see here, this is just there for us to be able to use an SVG file if we wanted to. Now we can see here from this, it's actually started extracting some of those colors. It's given us variations. It's starting to save those to our template kit or our brand kit. It started giving us a color theme for our actual brand. Now, I have created a brand kit previously for this inside of Adobe Express. And see, this is my original one that I created inside Adobe Express a while ago, but now it started to extract all of those things for us and started to create those brand colors. You can see here it's actually added our logo here. We've got the primary logo, we've got our brand colors, and as we go down the chat, it's going to start creating fonts for us, and we're going to be able to start creating some brand graphics, give a mood and a vibe around this for our actual brand. So you can see as we scroll down here, it's given us all of our hex codes on here. So this is all automatically done just from me uploading that logo there. It's kind of like read that and understood what it is that it wants us to do, or what it is that it is going to do. Now, it also gives us some guidance as to how we're going to create content for Instagram, email, on our web page. We can see here, how would I like to share this brand kit? So you can actually invite people via email. You can share a link to somebody else if you wanted to, or you can skip sharing for later on if that's something that you wanted to come back to. Now, I did try this with sending it to myself on an email, and it allowed me then to kind of like see that and get that invite. But I automatically, because I'm logged into my Adobe Express account as well, it did automatically add that as a brand kit for me there, which is what you're seeing here. This is the one that it actually created. Now you see here it says unsupported documents. This is our brand guidelines. Now I'm guessing as I say, this is in beta right now, so we're going to be at some point in the future be able to actually read these, our brand guidelines, in the future. Now once it actually started creating that for me, I then said to it I want to add the fonts to the brand kit. So it says, well actually what fonts do you want to use? And it started giving me a selection. I could go through and start selecting the fonts that I wanted to use, whether that was for the header text or the main body text. It started saving all of those for me. And we can see here, it's actually given us a list of what it's actually doing for us. It's saving our primary logo as a PNG and an SVG. It's created our brand color palette. It's created those guidelines that I said that we had earlier on. Now we can still see those inside of Adobe Firefly there. We've now added in our fonts, whether that's our heading font or our body font. And it's also got the note there to say that I have been added as an editor. So now it's actually created our brand kit for us. What I wanted to do is actually then start creating some graphics inside of the brand kit. So I said it to it, I just using text. I said, please can we generate some graphics and add this to the brand kit? It's asked me what kind of like images that I want to create. It's kind of come up with a couple of different aesthetics. I just ticked all of them because I wanted to see what these results look like. Okay, and we can see here it's actually started creating these. If I click on this, it'll enlarge it for us. Okay, so we can see here it's actually started creating these, and as they load you'll see these are actually really good images that it's actually started creating. We could use these as brand images for backgrounds on social media posts. We've got different artwork, we've got other kind of like backgrounds that it started creating all around that aesthetic of the image or the first logo that I uploaded. It started creating all of those images for me. Now if you do want to kind of like ask it to change any of these, you can just select it here. If you then add it to the prompt and say, hey, in this image I want you to change the coffee beans from there to do something different, or I want the spoon to be pointing a different way, or the beanbag, or whatever it is you want to change on that image, you can just select it, add it to the prompt, and then that you're going to be able to then add that or change that with the prompt. Now on this one I did choose to regenerate some images. I asked it to do a couple of like illustrations. Again, I wasn't like totally sold on those, but I said add these ones to the brand kit please, and it went away and started adding them to the brand kit. You can see here on the brand kit, if we click on the graphics, you can see all of these here are ones that I've just added through the prompts inside of the Adobe Firefly AI Assistant. Okay, you can see here it kind of like duplicates them up a little bit. That's just the way it's adding them to the brand kit. It's got all of those for us. And then I was like, well, actually, I've got a load of images already. So I just went on to the upload and I went to my cloud storage and I said, I've already got these generations here that I've created for this brand. Can you also add these to the brand kit for me? And it did exactly that. It just added them to the brand kit. I didn't have to go into Adobe Express and upload those manually. I just did those in here. You can see there it's actually then uploaded all of those, and it's kind of like giving us a running total as to what we've got, things that we like. I asked it to generate some other background options, added those into the brand kit. You can see here I actually said save all 5 to the brand kit, so that's exactly what it's done. But what about now if we want to create some mock-ups for us to actually see what our logo would look like on maybe some coffee packages, or maybe even like a shop? Well, that's exactly what we can do. We can come back in to the AI Assistant, and this time we're going to click on create mockups, and that's going to then come to this area here. You can see here it's got / create mockups, and again I've just said like I've got a logo, uploaded the logo, and then wanted it to create some mockups for us. We've got this big coffee mug here that added the logo. Absolutely loved it. Really good option. It then said like, well, what about these options here? We've got some, you know, paper cups, we've got a tote bag, we've got the branded of coffee in a bean bag or something else like that. What about the outside of a shop? Now, I really loved the idea of this being the outside of the shop. And I said like, well, hang on a minute. What about, first of all, actually what I said was actually what I want to do is I want to create some more mock-ups outside, but I wanted this coffee mug to actually have a corrugated cardboard look. And that's exactly what it's done for us. I also then asked it to create some more mock-ups of what the outside of a shop might look like. I really love these. These are really kind of like the aesthetic, the feeling of this coffee shop. If this was ever a real coffee shop, is exactly what I would want it to actually look like, with all the plants, all of the nice cozy lighting, all of the natural woods, all of that is exactly in here. And I can just add all these to my brand kit. Again, I said, you know, I've got all of those. It adds them to a Firefly board for me. So I do have all of these on a Firefly board. You can see I actually created many, many more kind of like mock-ups. And then I asked it to create some drinks for me. So you can see down here, I said, we've, you know, do the shop in different times of the day, which is what you've just seen there on the Firefly board. Is, you know, I wanted it in different times of the day, whether it was snowing and things like that. And then it's kind of given me a checklist of all of these things. I then said to it, I'd like a different selection of mock-ups showing different coffees. So we've got like a cappuccino, we've got an iced latte, or, you know, we've got a flat white, we've got a iced coffee here, we've got a coffee shop. It's given us all of these and actually added all of the branding to the coffee mug here. And I am amazed as to how these look. Like if we zoom right in, you can actually see the indentation there of what the actual mug looks like. So far what we've done is we've actually created our brand kit with some images and feelings of what we want those graphics to look like. We've created some mock-ups which have our brand logos on, the outside of the shop, different times of the day, different coffee shops, and different kind of like coffees that we've got there that we might be serving in the coffee shop. Now, next thing that we might want to do is actually start creating a short product video. And that comes really easily by just popping back into the AI Assistant. We can see here, we've actually now got down the bottom here, we can see we can create a short product video. Now, when it comes to doing this, I thought of, first of all, I'll just upload all of my images, and that wasn't how you do this. What you actually do is you upload an image and it will then work through and create a video for you. So what we've done is we've actually uploaded the image here, and it gives us kind of like a question saying like, what kind of shot do you want to have on this? So I said an orbital panning smooth shot of 180 degrees, and this is what it came up with. You can see there, it's really cool. And you know, you just come download these, and if you do download these, it doesn't have the black on the borders on the side. It is actually a portrait image. You can see here, if I just drag this one in here, you can see it's actually a portrait image of that image that we created there already. So we can also see I've got another option here where it's actually showing the vertical of that, and it just pans in there. You can see it's got the person in the background there, all the steam coming off the mug. It really creates that kind of like vibe as to what the images or the products or the coffees that people might be enjoying in the coffee shop might actually look like. So we just went down there, we created different options, we created different kind of like variations of this, whether that was portrait or landscape. You can see here, you can see I've kind of expanded it. You know, we've got different options on here, and we can see where it like pans in there, which is a really cool option. And then again, where it kind of like just pans round, and we kind of gave it all of these different options. And that's where I started kind of like choosing or having different coffees. You can see here where it's got the grey at the side, that isn't actually there, as I say, when you actually download the video. It is actually a vertical video that I've already shown you there. And that's where I started playing about with adding or creating all of those videos using the Firefly AI Assistant. It's a really great product. So we've now gone from creating our brand to our images. We've got some product videos. Now all we need to do is create different variations for different platforms. And now we're going to come back to the AI Assistant page, and we can see here now we can select create social variations. Easy for me to say. This is a longer video than I thought it was going to be. So we're going to create some social variations. You can see here, all I've done again is I've uploaded this one image. It said, gave me a question. What do I want? I said I want a full set. In hindsight, I didn't need a full set. I probably could have gone with Facebook and TikTok or something else like that, but I asked it to give me a full set. You can see here it's actually given me a full set, which I can then just download and save those off to there if I wanted to. We can also start selecting these, and if we select these, we can click on open. You can see we can open up in Firefly boards. And then once you've actually added them to a Firefly board, you can then choose to open them up in Adobe Express or anything else like that, whatever you want to. But you can see here from this, I've got all of my Instagram posts, my Facebook posts, TikTok, Snapchat, if anybody even uses that still. We've got X/Twitter. I will always call it Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube. It's all there available for us. You know, we do have some new options in there. There is the building a brand, that's new. We've got creating a product reel, which was new. That's where we're creating those videos. We've got the new, what they call it, semantic search, where we can search across all of our iCloud, all of our Adobe Express, Lightroom, or our computer, or our cloud drive. And it's all there for us to be able to find and build a brand from scratch just by simply uploading that one logo. Give this yourself a go. I'll put a link down below for you to try Adobe Firefly. And if you do have access to the Firefly AI Assistant, you'll see that in the left-hand panel there on Adobe Firefly. And until next time, thank you very much and bye for now.